Hello everyone. In last lecture we have seen the different damages occur on hard disk, that is physical damage as well as the logical damage, and we have seen the different techniques that we can use to recover the data from the hard disk. We also find find the concepts like recovering the unallocated space, free space, and slack space that we have seen in the last lecture. Then what are the different imaging and participation techniques? In that we have seen qualify forensic duplicate, then restore image and create a mirror image, and that we can create using different forensic toolkit, and that we are going to discuss in today's topic, that forensic duplication or disk imaging tool requirements. So tools are very important to create the disk imaging or create the duplicate files. We can recover the data using this tool. So the tools are very important, and on different operating system we use different tools. The tool must be able to image all information on the storage medium. The tool must make the forensic duplicate or mirror image of the original storage medium. So using tool we can create the mirror image. Yes, in yesterday's lecture we have discussed what is mirror image. Mirror image is nothing but the hardware tool that used to create duplicate hard disk. The tool must handle read errors in a vigorous and elegant way. In the event that a process fails after repeated endeavor, the error is noted and the imaging process proceeds. A placeholder might be placed in the output file with the same dimension as the portion of the input with errors. The contents of the placeholder must be achieved in the tool's documentation. So the tool is used to read and write in the disk, and it will proceed, and whenever it find an error, it put that error in a placeholder. So whenever the reading process complete, after that it can be read the placeholder data and recover the files that are deleted when the attack has done. Okay, the tool must not make any changes to the source medium. So we use this tool and it will not make the changes. It perform only read operation on the hard disk. The tool must be able to involve the scientific and peer review. Results must be repeatable at certain by a third party if essential. So whenever we create the disk duplication, at that time the data must be reviewed there. So whether the original data has been created again or whether any duplication has created. So that should be checked after doing the disk duplication. Action and error logs are crucial important also. The more data log the tool amid operation, the less demanding your occupation will be point at which the record the procedure. Next point is creating forensic duplicate of hard drive. So here we are going to see the different tools that are going to create the duplicate hard drive. So first one is the to create the forensic duplicate of hard drive with the following tools. And first tool is DD and DCFDD. So this is the DCFLDD. This is the tool used to create the फॉरेन्सिक डुप्लिकेट हार्ड ड्राईव्ह. आता यामध्ये बघा हे वेगवेगळे टूल्स आपल्याला दिलेत, तर हे आपण कशासाठी यूज करतो, तर डुप्लिकेट हार्ड ड्राईव्ह. आता डुप्लिकेट हार्ड ड्राईव्ह कशासाठी क्रिएट करायला लागतो, तर ज्यावेळी आपल्या सिस्टीमवर एखादा अटॅक होतो, तर त्या अटॅकच्या वेळी काय होतं, हा जो काही डेटा आहे आपला तो डेटा लॉस होतो. तर तो लॉस झालेला डेटा आयदर डिलीट केलेला असतो किंवा त्याच्यावर काही स्क्रॅचेस वगैरे आणले असतात की ज्यामुळे तो डेटा रिडेबल फॉर्मॅटमध्ये नसतो. तर तो डेटा रिकवर करण्यासाठी आपण वेगवेगळ्या टूल्स अँड टेक्निक्स यूज करतो. तर त्यातलंच हे टूल आहे आपण यूज करतो, जे त्यातलं फर्स्ट प्रोसिजर आहे क्रिएटिंग फॉरेन्सिक डुप्लिकेट युझिंग डीडी अँड डिसेबल डीडी. द डीडी टूल इज द पार्ट ऑफ GNU software suite. Afterwards, DD was imported by the programmers and released the DCFL DD. The DD tool is very reliable and create the forensic duplicate. So this DD tool and the extended version is disabled DD, that is used to create duplicate hard drive. The DD tool performs a complete bit by bit copy of the original. While using the tool, simply transposing a single character may destroy evidence. So one must have be familiar with the DD tool before using it, as well as in Unix environment addresses storage devices. In this tool, the the DD tool read the character by character. So it read the single character and that transpose from one hard drive to another hard drive. So if anyone does not know the procedure, then uh, it, they should be take the training for the same. Okay, and it can be operated on Windows as well as Unix environment. And now here are the steps required to create the duplicate hard drive using DD. So first step is create a boot media. Boot media is used to store the data. So whenever we want to create the duplicate file, first we have to create the boot media. So whenever so if we create the boot media, then if we put that CD in a drive, then it is automatically boot. Next step is perform the duplication with DD. In some situation, the duplication is stored. The series of the files which are sized to fit on the specific media type or system type. We call these segmented images. So do the following things to perform the duplication. So using DD command, it creates the new files on a boot media with specific type, and this is known as the segmented images. Next step is write the script to perform hard drive duplication. Then here we write the script, and whenever this script get executed, it will create the hard drive duplication. Next one, write down the source device name from where we want to copy the data. So next one, we select the source device which we want to create the duplication. Write down the output file name and set the output file size. So after that, after selecting the source device, we have to specify the path where we want to store this data. So we create an output file with name and set the output file size. So as the source source data size and destination data size should be same, so the output file is totally depend upon the input devices or that hard disk which we want to create duplicated. Next, after that we use the DD command. Whenever we run the DD command, at that time the disk duplication process starts. बघा एकदम सिंपल आहेत स्टेप्स. फर्स्ट आपण बूट मीडिया क्रिएट करतो आणि बूट मीडिया क्रिएट झाल्यानंतर आपण डुप्लिकेशन स्टार्ट केलं करतो. तर त्यामध्ये डायरेक्टली ज्या काही फाईल्स आहेत आणि पर्टिक्युलर टाईपच्या फाईल्स त्या फर्स्ट काय होतात, कॉपी होतात. नेक्स्ट आपण स्क्रिप्ट राईट करतो. ती स्क्रिप्ट ज्यावेळी एक्झिक्यूट होते तर त्यावेळी काय होतं, आपलं हार्ड डिस्क डुप्लिकेशन क्रिएट करणं चालू होतं. त्यामध्ये आपल्याला सोर्स डिव्हाइसचं नेम द्यायला लागतं, जिथं आपल्याला स्टोअर करायचं ते आउटपुट फाईलचं नेम आपल्याला देतं आणि आपण साईज स्पेसिफाय करतो. जेवढी सोर्स डिव्हाइसची साईज असेल तेवढीच आउटपुट डिव्हाइसची किंवा आउटपुट फाईलची साईज राहणार, मग तेवढीच आपण स्पेसिफाय करतो. आणि जर त्यामध्ये कमी झाली तर मग काहीतरी एरर क्रिएट झालाय वाईल द परफॉर्मिंग द डुप्लिकेशन. त्यानंतर आपण मग डीडी कमांड फक्त execute करतो. It is also possible to create the duplicate without splitting the output file in Linux. Create such types of duplicate, calculate MD5 sum of the entire drive in one and pass the source drive. तर लिनक्स मध्ये असं पार्टिशन किंवा स्प्लिटिंग करायची गरज नाहीये. त्यामध्ये फक्त आपल्याला MD5 कॅल्क्युलेट करून तो आपल्याला सोर्स हार्ड ड्राईव्हला पास करायला लागतो. आता सेकंड आहे क्रिएटिंग. आता दुसरं टूल आहे, त्याला आपण म्हणतो ओपन डेटा डुप्लिकेटर. तर द ओपन डेटा डुप्लिकेटर इज अन ओपन सोर्स टूल विच फॉलोज द client server model. The client server model allows the investigator to perform forensic duplication on the number of computer system simultaneously over local LAN. So if there is a one system on which the attack has performed and we have to recover the data from that particular computer, then we use first method, that is DD and DCFLDD. But if we are using source and client communication, and for that we create the LAN, at that time we use Open Data Duplicator. It's a open source tool, so that anyone can download it and use it. Maybe it's a free of available. This model is used to communicate with server as well as client, so the number of client machines can access by this tool. We can use this software on a single forensic system because the both has can be run on the same computer system. ODD can perform additional functions on the data as it being processed. ODD include the modules that will calculate checksum, hand hashes, perform string searches, and extracted file based on the file headers. So we have to put up ODD software or the tool on server machine. So using that we can get the data. So on different client machines that are connected to server. बघा इथं सर्व्हर क्लायंट कम्युनिकेशन आहे, त्यामुळे आपण फक्त सर्व्हरवर डेटा जरी स्टोअर ठेवला तरी तो काय करतो, आपण ऍक्सेस करू शकतो. Next one, the ODD package is having three portions. First one is the bootable CD-ROM, second one is the server side application, and third one is the client side application. तर ODD साठी आपल्याला CD ड्राईव्ह लागतो, सर्व्हर साइड ऍप्लिकेशन सर्व्हर साइडला रन व्हायला आणि क्लायंट साइड ऍप्लिकेशन क्लायंट साइडला रन व्हायला. त्यातलं फर्स्ट बघूया आपण, bootable CD-ROM. These are similar to the Linux distribution. ओके, तर यामध्ये बघा आपल्याला जे काही टूल यूज करायचं आहे तर ते टूल आपण बुटेबल सीडी मध्ये पुट करतो आणि त्यानंतर त्याचा कोड ऑटोमॅटिकली एक्झिक्यूट होतो. आणखीन आपल्याला लागणार आहे सर्व्हर साइड ऍप्लिकेशन. द सर्व्हर विल perform most of the processing of the duplicate image, including the calculation of hashes, string searches, and the storage of the true forensic duplication. आता सर्व्हर साइड ऍप्लिकेशन मध्ये आपल्याला जे काही ओडीडीचं टूल आहे ते बोथ सर्व्हरसाठी ॲज वेल ॲज क्लायंट साईडसाठी अवेलेबल आहे. त्यामुळे आपण ते फर्स्ट सर्व्हर साईडवर एक्झिक्यूट करून त्याला जे काही कनेक्टेड कॉम्प्युटर आहे तो डेटा आपण काय करू शकतो, कलेक्ट करू शकतो. आता क्लायंट साईडवरनं काय होणार, दिस पोर्शन मे बी रन लोकली इफ यू आर डुप्लिकेटिंग ड्राईव्ह ऑन अ फॉरेन्सिक वर्क स्टेशन. जर क्लायंटवर जर वेगळ्या हार्ड ड्राईव्ह वगैरे असतील की ज्याच्यावर आपण डेटा स्टोअर केलाय, तर तो पण डेटा आपण गेट करू शकतो बाय युझिंग client side application. When we perform the forensic duplication of hard drive using ODD, firstly it detects the location of ODD server, then the ODD server detects the device and files which can use to direct ODD for the duplication of the some portion. After detecting the device, the next step is processing. So first we we execute server side application. So when we performing the forensic duplication on hard drives using ODD, it first detects the ODD server, and that ODD server detects the device and files which we can use to direct ODD for the duplicate. So it first execute the server side application and it find out the files where the ODD tool will create the duplication. The process stores the forensic image and performs simple string searches and extracts certain types of files based on their file headers. We also manage some nodes using nodes plug-in, which give the information like case number, the computer's date time and actual date time, and the system description. So whenever you start the creating forensic image, it takes some values, takes some input from the devices like case number, the computer's date time, actual date time, and system description. Then we use Carve plugin to extract a certain number of bytes from incoming data stream based on the file header. For example, if we have selected GIF and JPG for the extraction, once the duplication has completed, the CARV files may be found in a directory ODD server. So it will start with the choosing the type of the file. So whatever the type we want to create the duplication that we have specified there, and it will create the duplicate file there. Next one is the creating qualified forensic duplicate of hard drive. So now we are creating the duplicate hard drive. Before that, we create the files, duplicate files. Here we create whole hard drive duplicate. It must known as an investigator that never boot from the evidence drive. Many items on the evidence media can be altered, starting from the moment the BIOS executes the boot block on hard drive. In the initial boot process, the file access timestamp, partition information, the registry configuration files, and important log files may be changed in a matter of seconds. The qualified forensic implies that the copy is true copy, that is the bit stream from the original, and duplicate are the same. So whenever create the duplicate hard drive, at that time the forensic developer should take care of boot process, file access timestamp, partition information, and registry configuration files, and important log files. Because whenever it start the duplication process, at that time it must be alter the information. In order to certify this, one can one can compare the original and duplicate bit by bit, and one can speed up the process by using the signatures, also known as the hash. So to verify this whether it's going smoothly or it's not working properly, we have to compare the data with original and duplicate. And for that we use hash technique. A signature is a small piece of data, typically between 4 and 22 bytes long, calculated from the content of sector, a track, a file, or a whole drive. So it whenever we start the creating duplication, it access the sector of hard disk as well as track and a file on a hard drive. 32-bit cyclic redundancy codes SH1 use an algorithm generate signature that is so complicated that is computationally impossible to generate a sector block track or file that has the same signature as given sector block track file. So whenever we create a duplication, at that time the both the hard disk should be same, with same structure, same geometry. For example, here the sectors, 32 sectors are there, some blocks are there, some tracks are there, same like that the destination hard disk should be. Otherwise it will create a problem while creating the duplication hard drive. A good duplication tool will have some way to proving that the duplicate is true, typically by calculating the signature. So it so whenever we use good duplication tool, it will give some proof that the data that created using the tool is valid by giving typical calculating the signature. Next point is creating a boot disk. A clean operating environment is required for imaging a system. For doing the imaging DOS application like SafeBack or Encase, it means that you are create an MS-DOS boot disk. The following command will format and copy systems file to floppy. So whenever we want to create a boot disk, at that time we format the disk before we use that. So here we give the format command, it will format the drive. So C format A is used for floppy drive. So we create the disk duplication in a floppy system. There should be 4 files in the root directory of the floppy. These files contain the code to get the computer running minimal operating system, and these 4 files are used IO.system, then MS-DOS system, and command.com, and dvar dvarv space dot bin. So these are the running files that present on a floppy drive. The computer first process IO.system file, and then the code in IOSys loads contents of MS-DOS system and begins initial device drivers test and reset the hardware and loads the command interpreter command.com. So it first loads the io.system file and then it executes the contents of MS-DOS system. After that, it interprets the command.com command. During the process of loading the device drives, if the disk partition connected to machine uses compression software, then IO system loads the drv space dot bin drive file. So this file is used if the files are in compress mode. When the drive loads, mount the compress volume and present the operate system with an uncompressed view of file system. So after that drive loads mount, that means the files started to transfer from source to destination. When it mounts the compressed volume, it changes the time depth stamps on the compressed file. So whenever if we are not using the compressed file to mount on destination drive, then it work as it is. But when we try to mount the compressed volume, it change the time date stamps. It means that the evidence will be altered. These files are required to you. So whenever the hacker try to access the compressed file, at that time the timestamp date change, and from that we can get the evidence that will notify that the file gets altered. When you boot when you boot from your clean boot disk, you want to make sure that the loading of the device space bin drive file fails. Simply removing the file is a good start, but IO.system is smart enough to check the root directories of all active partitions for the file. So whenever we start to create a boot disk, at that time we should remove the drive space dot bin drive. Okay, if we are not remove it, then also IO.system will take care of it by finding the active partition on the file. The most effective way to prevent the loading drive space.bin is to load IO system into hex editor and alter the strings manually. Perform the string search operation in workspace. So it is better to use io.system file in hex editor. It will help to alter the file, and it is useful to search performing search operation. Notice that the period in the file name is not represent in the executable file. Continue search file or space string. There are instance in ios.system that will need to be changed. When are finished, save the file and exit the hex editor. So whenever we find any entries in a io.system, then we save that file and exit hex editor. Hex editor is the application used to execute the commands. On the safer side, remove the dir space bin folder from the floppy as well. After you have created the clean boot floppy, copy over and DOS mode drives that will need to access the hard drives on the computer system under investigation. So in a floppy drive also drive space dot bin files have been created. So you should remove that so that you will get the clean boot floppy where you can copy all the data. The best source of the DOS drive is the website for each hard drive manufacturer rather than on a driver CD that ships with the product. So it's the best to use website for creating the boot device, or you can use the driver CD to ship the product. Next one is the use encase tool. Okay, that we'll discuss. We have 10 minutes. No? Okay. So next one is the use Encase tool. Encase tool is very easy that we are going to use in our practical also. Encase is a high, Encase is totally high price, but surprising Windows-based forensic suite that consists of making the certified forensic tool, forensic duplicates. So Encase is a high price software, but it is very useful to create the duplication. Being home Windows based totally makes Encase easy to apply. However, they additionally introduce a few issues, approximately the OS spotting, suspect drive, and inside the procedure changing their contents. This does not imply of direction of Encase should ever generate the person information. So after that, we have created the so we faces some issues over there. That means the OS spotting drives and inside the procedure changing the contents. This does not imply the direction that the encase should be generate the personal information. So whenever we use the encase tool, at that time we face such type of problems, and that does not mean that here the duplication has been created already. Encase strength lies in their seamless integration of the all investigation obligation. Encase generally certify forensic duplicate. So its strength lies in their seamless integration. So it will directly we can use that tool without creating the booting device and all these things, and there is no need to execute the command for creating the duplication. Next one is the use SafeBack tool. SafeBack is a small software program. It's not a tool, it's a program that position on a DOS boot disk. It offers options of the kind of duplicate, a real forensic duplicate or reflect. We will need to have clean DOS. So using DOS operating system, we can execute SafeBack tool program. So it will create the duplicate real forensic duplicate and reflect file will create on a DOS environment. So here we complete the topic. In next lecture, we are going to discuss about the encryption and compression methods and stenography also. Then we are in next lecture we are going to see some search techniques. So here we end the session. If you have any doubt, let me know. पुन्हा काय डाऊट असेल तर विचारा, नाहीतर आपण सेशन एंड करू. ओके, थँक्यू फॉर वॉचिंग.